What is our third main topic today?
It comes to us from Ehubb. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Hey, John and gang, it's almost here. We are a month and a half away from The Batman, and I haven't been this excited for a movie since Endgame. IMDb posted the movie's runtime, and it's clocked at 2 hours and 55 minutes. Woo! Do you think this runtime is legit, and what are your thoughts if it is? Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And obviously, we just talked about that. My most anticipated television show coming is the Lord of the Rings show. My most anticipated movie is The Batman. I am dying to see this. I think the trailers have been fantastic. I was excited. I mean, we knew for a while that Ben Affleck wasn't going to be attached anymore. Sad. But, when I heard that they got Matt Reeves, I'm like, okay, if it can't be Ben, Matt Reeves is a pretty damn good choice. And then they shocked the world when they announced Robert Pattinson. Shocked the world. Causing the outcry, millions of voices crying out in terror, Twilight boy. Yeah, Twilight boy.
How did I miss you making that phrase a thing?
I mean, it's
Twilight boy.
It's somebody wrote to me the other day and said, I was at work and I heard a couple of coworkers talking and somebody said Twilight boy. And I stopped, do you watch the John Campea Show? He's like, yeah. It's so anyway. So I guess it's getting around. Twilight boy is a thing. But millions of voices who don't understand that this guy, Robert Pattinson, has been slowly and quietly becoming one of the best actors in the world that every director in Hollywood is dying to work with when he did this big succession of incredible performances in smaller indie films. But I got it. People who may not know that and only knew him from Twilight were like, Twilight boy? How they getting the Twilight boy? But they did, and he's our new Batman, and I think it's going to be great. And I think the trailers have been fantastic and all that kind of stuff. One of the big questions that starts to surround movies like this lately is that people in different eras have never asked. But in the last 5 years, a lot of fans started asking about an anticipated upcoming movie. How long is it going to be? Now, maybe no more than Ray. Because Ray is as soon as the answer goes over 90 minutes, he's like, I'm out.
It'll take him 10 sittings to watch this entire film.
It'll take him several goes to get through Batman. Because some whispers started to go around yesterday that Batman was going to clock in at close to 3 hours. Now, this didn't come from any real legitimate source. But where it does come from is IMDb. If you look at the top of the Batman page on IMDb, it's listed PG-13, which it is, and at 2 hours and 55 minutes. Again, I want to emphasize that none of the studios have confirmed this. None of the major trades have confirmed this. I also need to emphasize this, that IMDb, while it is rock solid for your information about movies that have already come out, it's a little shaky on movies that have not yet come out because so many various people have access to change information on it. So you can't take what IMDb says about an upcoming movie to the bank. However, there have been several instances when IMDb has an incorrect piece of information out, and then it usually gets corrected pretty quickly. This listing of 2 hours and 55 minutes has been up for over 24 hours now, and they haven't changed it. So let's just say, before we get into any deep discussion here, that I don't know if this is true, since all it's saying on IMDb, but hasn't come down. But for the sake of the argument for the rest of the segment, we're going to assume it's real for now, even though it very well may not be. But let's go with it. 2 hours and 55 minutes is a long-ass movie. That's a long film. Especially for a film that it's the first. John, this ain't the first Batman movie. No, but it's the first this Batman movie. Now, normally you'd think of the sequel or the conclusion of maybe being longer, hence, Endgame and stuff like that. But at 3 hours, it's kind of long. And somebody was asking me yesterday, would 3 hours be too long? My answer for that is kind of the same that I give on most of these things. There is no such thing as the right length for a movie. Every movie has its own unique right length. A lot of great movies are 95 minutes, 100 minutes, whatever. A lot of great movies are 150 minutes, right? It just depends. Every movie has a runtime that is best for it. It's a facade and it's a lie to say, the movies that come in at 110 minutes are best. No, that's bullshit. Oh, it's best when a movie's 3 hours. No, that's bullshit. 3 hours is way too long for a lot of things. 100 and maybe 2.5 hours might be too short for others. So it doesn't matter. So I don't really care about that. But what does the runtime tell us? Here's my thought. A Batman movie that's going to be clocking in, a first Batman movie that's going to be clocking in somewhere around the 3-hour mark, to me says Matt Reeves is looking to do a lot of world building. A lot of world building. And it also tells me that they've already got their plans for their sequels. I don't think this is a situation where they've got the first one, they're going to make sure it does well, and then they'll move forward and start developing the second one. I think a 3-hour runtime of a Batman film right now, it says tons of world building, and they're laying groundwork for the second and third films. I think at this point. So whether 3 hours is the right runtime for this film or not, we won't know until we see the movie. We might watch it and think 3 hours is too short. We might watch it and think it was way too long. But it tells me, at least what I'm taking away from this, is that they've already got plans for the future and they're laying the groundwork for that. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, Peloton. Now look guys, it's a brand new year. It's 2022. And if you're like me and a lot of other people, you've probably made some kind of fitness resolutions for the new year, as we often do. But let's face it, it's not always easy or convenient or time efficient to get to the gym. It's easy to become bored and bogged down in the mundane of the same old kind of workout routines. It's hard to get motivated with that. But Peloton has your back. Now, of course, we all know Peloton's bikes, the Peloton tread. You know, Ann and I moved into our new house here. And of course, you know that I ordered a Peloton tread because I love my treadmills. But Peloton keeps working out fresh, exciting, and new to keep you motivated in the new year. Because, you know, right now, Peloton is pushing you further with so much new stuff, new classes, new music, new ways to keep you and your workouts fun and motivating at the same time. Now, you guys know me. For years, I love just getting on my treadmill. I don't just get on there to jog. I often just get on there to think or do work or do research. I like doing all that. But on top of all that, they have a whole lot of classes that you can do while you're on the equipment at the same time. And listen, going into the new year, they've got a whole bunch of new stuff. For example, they have boxing classes. Peloton is stepping into the ring with you guys with this newest exercise. No gloves needed. You can discover fast, furious, and fun workouts with Peloton instructors right there in your corner on the app. And they're introducing a whole lot more in terms of daily variety in your workouts. Like, it's easier to stick to your goals when you keep your workouts interesting. Peloton's got a workout for every goal, every day, and every mood you might be in. De-stress from a long day with a 30-minute strength and 20 minutes of cardio. Do a quick 15 minutes of a total body class before work. Whatever works for you to stay motivated while having fun with bike workouts, yoga, meditation, dance, cardio, whatever it is you need. And right now, for a limited time, try the Peloton app for free for 2 months. Then it's just $12.99 a month after that. New members only. So visit onepeloton.com/app to learn more. Now that's 2 months free at OnePeloton. That's OnePeloton.com/app. The offer expires on January 31st and terms may apply. And again, we want to thank Peloton for sponsoring this video. Rob, you're seeing this potential maybe runtime of 255, which it may or may not be, but assuming it is for a moment, what do you take away from that? And is that a good move for the first film in a new franchise?
Well, it excites me. I like long, sprawling, epic movies. And I think what's really interesting is for a lot of superhero movies, you introduce your superhero, you give him a scenario or her scenario, what the deal is, you introduce the villain, and then the story is about the conflict with that villain. I think there's a lot more going on in this movie. I think, like The Dark Knight alluded to, I think they're going to deal with inner city politics. They're going to deal with the fact that there's not just one villain. You've got Penguin, you've got Riddler, you've got Catwoman. So this film, I think, is going to be hugely ambitious in scope and emotion and storytelling, and it's going to be broader in terms of a broader canvas than we're used to with I'll bet when people look at this, they'll call this, and I have no reason to believe this, I'm just saying, if this runtime is true, people are going to say this is the Godfather or the Goodfellas of superhero movies.
Those are big words.
Wow.
I know. That's
Really?
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I know. Look at you. You're horrified, right?
I'm not horrified.
But I mean, in
I'm
terms
just-
of like
that's
the scope of it all, You know, Coppola once said that The Godfather is a movie about a king and his 3 sons.
King Lear.
Okay, well, it's assuming kind of, but assuming who's going to take the mantle of that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about the mafia. I think this movie is going to be like that. That it's a much broader story than we're used to, and no one's going to be like, it's just a Batman movie.
Right.
That's what I think.
Aaron, first of all, you've been seeing the trailers for this, all this kind of stuff. You hear about this runtime. Number one, you hear, if it is, for the sake of running 3 hours, what message do you take away from that? And where's your anticipation level right now for the Batman?
The message that I take away from that is that I need to bring an empty 2-liter bottle with me. Because I don't think that my aim will be as spot on as yours is for obvious reasons. But if you remember, I did wet my pants when I saw Endgame. I actually, finally, the Kegels can only go so far before you get muscle fatigue. And I was not about to miss the end credit. And then I got to the point where I had to go so bad that I couldn't stand up. And Tom was like, go to the fucking bathroom. I was like, I can't stand up. If I stand up, it's just going to happen. And he was like, go to the bathroom. It was, so that happened. So I actually wet my pants because that's my dedication. That is my dedication.
That's how much Endgame had you enthralled.
That's how much Endgame had me, is that I was so unwilling to miss a moment So I have a feeling that that's probably going to happen. So if anybody wants to send me a care package of Depends, that is how I will see. No, I really think that what I'm going to need for you, John or Rob, whenever you guys go to to the premiere, or because I'm always the second fiddle. You know, it's like, oh, well, Rob couldn't go to this premiere. So do you want to come, Aaron? So when you guys go to see the premiere or a screening, then I'm going to need you to find a point in the hour and 30-minute section where you go, okay, when this happens, go to the bathroom. That's your cue. No, I'm really excited about this. And I agree with you, Rob, when it comes to world building. You know, I don't think that there's any character that I'm personally more excited for, or who has gotten more of a build-up than Robert Pattinson in this, except for Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I mean, Catwoman has been done. You know, I don't think that we've ever really gotten back to Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. You know, she kind of really, Halle Berry's, we saw what happened with that. And Anne Hathaway, don't think that
that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. But I really think that there's a lot of excitement about Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I think that they really want to do right by the character, especially for this film. I think the casting is fantastic. And so it's not just about the Batman. Obviously, that is our main focus. But I think that we're also going to see them setting Zoe Kravitz up for her own Catwoman film.
Really?
I'm just putting it out there.
That's your big prediction on that one.
My prediction is that they are setting up Zoe Kravitz for a Catwoman franchise, for a Catwoman film.
I'll tell you this. But before I tell you what I'm about to tell you, remember that we had heard from people inside Marvel when Eternals was coming that people inside the halls of Disney felt that Eternals may just be the best movie Marvel had ever produced. Okay? I got really excited. I like Eternals.
I do too.
It ain't the best movie Marvel's ever produced.
No.
But I liked it. It was good.
Me too.
So, but just remember that I've had some people inside Studio Systems say, we think this might be the best movie we've ever done, at least in terms of Marvel. And I don't think it turned out that way. That being said, I did talk to one person that's connected to Warner Brothers who said, you ever hear the Dallas Cowboys are saying it's Super Bowl or bust? How'd that work out for you, Cowboys? But they said it's Oscar nominations or bust. That's what they feel like with this Batman movie. They think there are legit Oscar nominations coming. And not just the technical awards, the technical awards are awesome. But they're thinking some of the big level awards are actually within reach. Now, that's not going to come anytime soon, because if there are Oscars in the future for the Batman, that's going to have to be next year's Academy Awards. Still, high hopes. But then again, we heard the same thing from Disney about Eternals, and while that turned out to be good, we'll have to see. But man, I'll tell you what, the more I see, we just had his picture up here. I'll bring it up again. The more I see of Colin Farrell.
That is not Colin Farrell.
Oh, that's Colin Farrell.
That is not Colin Farrell.
That's Colin Farrell's penguin.
No.
I would never know. I would
It
never
is.
guess it.
What?
Yeah, he plays Penguin.
That's
him. And the guy in the trailer going, I got you. Yeah, that's Colin Farrell.
How many hours of prosthetics?
Oh,
Did he gain
many.
weight, or is that
No, it's all body stuff they put on him.
Yeah, we should get Colin Farrell and Jared Leto together in his outfit.
Totally.
They could go on a road trip together.
Oh, absolutely.
Penguin and Paolo Gucci.
But I just remember watching the trailers for it and seeing him in it. I'm thinking, every time a comic book movie fan sees a trailer for a comic book movie, they start going, "Oh, that's best actor," and it's really stuff. But I got to admit, I got caught up in the jump thinking, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Colin Farrell gets the Best Supporting Actor nomination. And don't forget, they're even talking about making an HBO Max series for Colin Farrell's Penguin, which I am all on board. So clearly,
Wow.
they got big plans for this Batman in a 3-hour runtime, if true,
Right.
might be telling us a lot. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Now, understanding that it's very, very plausible that this is not going to be 2 hours and 55 minutes. I mean, it's only on IMDb, and that may or may not be true. But if it is, how do you guys feel about it? Do you think that's too long for a first chapter? Are you like, give me as much as you can? Whatever you guys are feeling about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.